Hi everyone. Obviously my speech is going to look a little bit unprofessional compared to Diana's and Jennifer's, and obviously you can tell by just looking at me it's a little bit of a scruff bag. But basically I've been working the retreat for the past couple of years, and I've had quite an insight into how the union runs and what I'd like to improve about it. Now basically I've got three main issues that have bothered me since I've been working there. Firstly, obviously working with the retreat, I've seen that is the only area of common space on that campus that is provided by the student union. As well as Cockcroft as well, this is the Rumlin Tum is the only place that's supplied by the union. I'd like to free up more common space for students by the student union, and also not in terms of indoor common space as well, but outdoors as well. I don't know if anyone knew this, but there's no actual free to use area outdoors. You have to pay for it provided by the university. So I'd like to free up an area that would be free to use at any point for Brighton students. Secondly, I'd like to sort of improve the diversity of club nights and entertainments that are provided. This especially is to do with live music. Notably at the retreat, it's a very good venue to have live bands on. It's already kitted out with lighting, it's a former drama studio. It'd be perfect for a small, intimate band venue that can be used at any point, and it's very accessible for Falmouth students. I'd also like to improve this into town as well. Obviously, we've got Pure, that's the union club night, but that's the only club night that is actually provided by the union at the minute. I'd like to have union club nights more than once a week, and then the money can go back to sports teams, societies and the union in general. I'd also like to improve the transport links as well. For example, up at Falmouth it's very difficult to get home. The night bus, for example, is only every half an hour. I'd like to have a pub to club bus that will go on a Wednesday night from the bar to the nightclub and also back again. It also is a lot safer for anyone who has to wait around for a bus at night, and also it's quite dangerous. I'd like to also try and link this up, hopefully with Eastbourne as well, to have a bus that goes every other week, for example, and then we could share Eastbourne and Brighton together rather than it's quite separate at the minute. If you've got any questions, please feel free.
Sam, what about Barney Halls? They're out in 6 as well. Are they going to get a bus?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to live at Barley in the first year as well, and I understood that Barley was even more out of the way than Falmouth was. So hopefully, we would like to try it at Falmouth, and then if it works, then Barley would be. To be honest, Barley would probably be better to try it with, but I think because it's out of the way, it's. I understand that.
You said that there's no free open space for the students to use at the moment. If you were going to get a free open space, would it be what we've already got already, which is at Falmouth, or would you be looking at another site that's easily accessible for other students, though that aren't at Falmouth, that are at Barley or Phoenix or wherever?
At the moment, obviously, I am more familiar with Falmouth than any other site, so I would look to place it there first. But I would also, if I got elected, look to have other access to other sites. I'm not too familiar with what would be available, but I would look to have it as more central than. Obviously, I know Falmouth has quite a lot of space that at the moment is unused, so it would make sense in a way to use that. But I would rather have it as a more central for everyone to use, to be honest.
You've obviously spoken a lot about the retreat. Looking where you stood now in the Rumlin Tum Cafe, one of our new spaces, you spent a lot of money on this. There's a stage there. Do you have any plans to use this as a space, put events on here? What ideas have you got?
Yeah, I'd like to obviously start with the retreat, but I'd also like to have the Rumlin Tum. I've noticed with the little stage as well. It's perfect to have live bands on here as well. I mean, it's because I'm sort of based on the retreat, because that's open in the evening. I was looking for more entertainments there. I'd like to have this open as like a late night venue as well. Eventually, I would like to use the retreat to test to see how it would work, and then hopefully bring it into sort of Northam and other venues as well.
As VP Student Activities, what is it that you plan to do specifically for the sports teams?
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to sort of improve the funding, for example, for the sports teams. A lot of them, I've noticed a lot of sports teams tend to, sometimes it's, like for example, sports teams get more access to funding than others. I'd like to have it a bit more evenly spread out towards other sports teams and society as well. I'm also looking to try and put on tailor events specifically for certain societies. I'd like to have them, if they come up to me and say, could you put this on, could you put this on, I'll try to tailor it for their own needs. To do with pure, I've heard around that some of the sports teams are not as, trying to be diplomatic here, Phil, overly pleased with the music and general quality of it. I'd like to have it so the sports teams are in more control of the policy for, like, for example, if we have it as a rota, football 1 week, rugby 1 week, netball 1 week, hockey 1 week, and it rotates, for example, and then they can pick the music theme, fancy dress theme, anything they like.
The bus is a full farmer, so you can get it free. Those two are different.
I'll look into trying to get it as free straight away. If it's not possible, obviously I'm not going to lie and say it's going to be free. It might have to be paid for, but I'm just going to try and look to have it as a free bus, because it makes sense. It's £1.70 to get in on a bus into town. It'd be much better to have it subsidised by the student union or the university. So if possible, I'd like to get it free, and I can't see why it would be a problem to not have it as a free bus.